first of all, I would like to express my gratitude towards this country for giving me such a nice platform for expressing my thoughts on the topic which I am going to share. And then secondly, to the faculty members of the university, to the members of Canada Research Institute for making the ground for me to present myself. So, the thematic cluster of aligning my research topic, aligning my presentation topic, along with the thematic cluster of the conference, I have decided to give a small presentation on the topic, exploring the intersection of religion, science, and culture. Okay, so my presentation will get in deep into the complex and often a debatable relationship between religion, between the science. Alright, and highlighting the historical connections, area of conflicts and opportunities for synergies. Okay, so this is what I will be talking about to all of you in coming 20 to 30 minutes. Okay? Yeah, next slide please. So, exploring the harmony between Islamic teachings and modern scientific discoveries. Okay, so this topic why I have chosen is that firstly because I belong to this religion. Secondly, as 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 the moment I'm seeing that the things which the science is discovering now, they have already been mentioned in our Quran, they have already been told by our Prophet Muhammad 1400 years back. Okay, so this is how I came across the conclusion of deciding or devising the topic which we will be talking about. Yeah, next slide. Yes, the Quranic perspective on the natural world. So when we talk about nature, there is one very beautiful Surah Rahman, right? Kabi aini ala rabbikuma tukaziban. So what in Hindi we call it as तुम अपने रब की किन नेमतों को ठुकराओगे. So this is the Quranic perspective on the natural world. See how the spiritual nature. Like we have sun. What do you call in Indonesian language the sun?
Matahari.
Matahari. Okay, so you have Matahari, you have sun. In Hindi we call it as Suraj. So it follows its own routine. It takes its own time to rise. It takes its own time to shallow down, right? So, in that same sense, when you when you see yourself, we as a human being, we have tendency to feel less motivated at sometimes, right? Sometimes we are highly motivated, right? So, it means that just like a sun, just like a matahari, you should have this tendency that if you have risen sometime, then definitely there will come a transition phase in your life where you will be slowing down, where you will be sterilized, where you will be stagnant. So this is what you have to learn from the nature. You have to learn this thing from the nature that there comes a time where you will be stagnant. But stagnancy doesn't mean that you are not doing well in your life. Especially to the students which from here, this university to this I give example to my student also that a person should be like a sun. Sun has its own time of rising. Sun has its own time of shining the whole city, shining the whole country, and it has own time. It has own time of sinking back. So be like a sun. Be like a Matahari. Next slide. Yes. The concept of oneness, the concept of unity, or the concept of Tawhid. Now it means that there has to be oneness in the We believe in Allah, we believe in one God, we believe in the principles, we believe in the oneness of God, that there is only one God. We pray to Allah. So never mind if I'm in India, I'll go down to Allah. If I'm in Indonesia, like I'm right now, I'll go down to Allah. Okay? So this was the first concept. Now when you come across the scientific resonance or the scientific nature, it suggests that whatever the scientific principles are, for example, the law of gravity. Like, what is the law of gravity? It means that if anything is thrown from above, it always goes down. Right? Is this law of gravity?
Yes.
So, the conclusion is that when the scientific nature of such laws are universal everywhere, then this has the same relevance as that of your religion, as that of Tawhid. It means that there is oneness of God, there is oneness in the implication of the principles of the science which we all study. It is never right that law of gravity will be different in India and it is going to be different in America. Definitely no. Right? So it is going to be the same for all of us. Next we have the holistic worldview. Now we make sure that the entire world is our own family. That is why we believe in the fraternity, we believe in the principle of brotherhood, we believe that no matter where the person belongs to, he or she is my own family member. He or she is like my own family member. If I try to hurt someone from another country, it means that I am hurting my own brother or sister. So these things, the concept of divine unity and scientific implication, these things we are currently in this situation, but these things are already related to Islam's teaching. Yeah, next slide. Now this is advanced in astronomy and cosmology aligning with the Islamic principle. Now let us try to understand this, the expanding universe. For example, the Quranic description of the creation of the universe, including the concept of heaven and the earth being joined together before being separated, and its alignment remarkably with the scientific theory of the Big Bang and expansion of the universe. As we see, there is a expansion of the universe, expansion of the countrysides, everything is expanding. So these things, they have some or the other touch with the Quranic implications, right? The next we have, next please. Yes, now this is one of my favorite slides. We say there has to be an intricacy of the human body. Now the Quran says that love your body. Now how do you love your body? By eating good, right? By meditating, by having good exercise. So that is why this is like there is a one English proverb. We say that take breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a beggar. Which means that the breakfast which you are having, that should be, full of, it should be full plate. It should have carbs, it should have protein, every possible portions of the diet. Then whatever the lunch you are doing, it should be like a prince. Like, why do we call it as like a prince? Because king is at a higher position, prince is at a lower position. And your dinner should be like a beggar. Beggar, if we personify a beggar, they eat very little. Right? Or they somehow manage to take small amount of food on their plate. So these proverbs have this implication that why? Because your digestive system takes a longer time to digest the food which you are having in comparison to the morning breakfast and as compared to the night dinner. That is why this English proverb has its implication from this particular particular thing that you should love your body. Now, how do you love your body? As we already mentioned, that by doing good exercises, by doing or having healthy lunch, breakfast, dinner, by having good fruits. Like many of the fruits are mentioned in the Quran. Like we have olives, right? Like we have black seeds. Black seeds, for black seed it is said that black seed is a cure to every medical problem except death. Okay? So if you take those black seeds, it not only improves your digestive system, it also helps you to live long. It also helps you to increase your metabolism. It also keeps your blood thin. It always keeps your sugar level balanced. It keeps your cholesterol balanced. So these things they have certain Quranic implications. We have nutritional guidance. Now we have to have some well-nourished foods. Well-nourished food here not only means that you are just having just having protein-rich diet. You are having only fruit. You are having only juice. It means there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance between. If any of the thing would be less, then definitely the balance is going to be mismatch. So there has to be a balanced diet in your plate. That is why when we fast during the months of Ramadan, right? So at that time, what happens that it is believed that if you take khajur in Sehri, during Sehri, if you take khajur, so it helps to quench the thirst. Like quenching the thirst here means that it helps you to feel hydrated for a longer period of time. So the mind-body connection. Now this mind-body connection, how do you manage to have a mind-body connection, right? We all are busy bees nowadays. Okay, we all have a very strict, we all have a very stringent routine throughout the day. So, but by the grace of Allah, we have got 5 times opportunities to balance the mind-body connection. Now that 5 opportunities is Fajr, Zohar, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. Okay, so these are the 5 opportunities which we have got. So to maintain the mind-body connection, whenever you are feeling tired or whenever you are feeling like hopeless, there is one surah. We have Surah Ad-Duha, right? So these surah, whenever you open Quran or even if you go around listening to certain speeches, or if you delve into this particular field, then for every emotion, for every state of your human body, for every state of your mind, you will definitely going to find one certain surah for that. And I personally love Surah Duha. Why? Because sometimes whenever I feel demotivated or whenever I feel like things are not in my order, then I read that Surah Duha and it really empowers me. So the mind-body connection here you can achieve through by offering namaz, by reciting surahs, by reciting Qurans. So these things, the ones which we are already fed up with, the human body maintenance, the nutrition guidance, and the mind-body connection. All these things they have the solution in namaz, they have the solution in the Quran. Alright? Yes. Next. Yes. Environmental and sustainability in Islamic teaching. Now when we talk about sustainability, yes, anybody would like to explain this term, sustainability? Anyone? Okay. So sustainability actually means that you are using the resources in such a manner that the present generation need is satisfied without compromising the needs for your future generation. Okay, this is what the literal meaning of the term sustainability means. So, reverence for the nature. Like it is said that you plant trees. Why do you plant trees? For example, if I am around maybe 20 years old. So if a tree I am planting, then by the time it is going to reap the flowers, reap the fruits, I might not be present in this world. But that tree is not going along with me to my grave, right? I am planting that tree for my kids. I am planting that tree for my coming generation. So there has to be your reverence for the nature. You have to maintain the sustainability. So, in order to maintain the future generations of your mankind. Next, responsible resource use. Like there are certain resources which take years and years to generate back. Okay, so we have to have a very mindful usage of these resources so that not only my needs are satisfied, but definitely the future generation, my kids, their kids, my grandkids, they can also enjoy that same resources. Alright, next, interconnectedness of life. There is some interconnectedness of the life, like we have pets at our home, we have certain species at our home, which reminds us of how beautiful the nature is, how beautiful or how creative our Allah is to manage these many creatures with one single power. Okay. Next, ecological responsibility. Now, Islamic religion has instilled a sense of individual and collective responsibility towards the environment. Now, whatever the movements we have for our environmental sustainability, whatever acts we do or whatever acts we get implemented or whatever things we do, it is for ecological, it is for the purpose of having ecological responsibility. So this responsibility or the sense of responsibility is it's our own sunnah. We know that having certain ecological balance between our country, between the world is very important so that the future generation could enjoy the fruits of our results. Okay? Yes, next. The interconnectedness of science and spirituality, then contemplating creation. For example, if you just look around people sitting around you, could you see any common thing between you and, like, my eyes are different, your eyes are different, my face is different, your face is different. So you know how creative this thing is that the entire universe, nobody is common except for the twins, right? But twins also, they do not have common fingerprints, right? So there, if you contemplate this, that how creative the universe is, how creative everyone is. Everybody is different in some sort of thing. Everybody has got different physique. Everybody has got different face. Some of us have got beautiful hair. Some of us have got beautiful eyes. So you see how beautiful the creation is, how different we are. But still, the one fact which holds all of us together is we all are human beings. Okay? Next is seeking truth. Now, this seeking truth is always having a truthful path, always speaking the truth. This has been our teaching, not only in Islam but also in our other religion. It also provides base for providing social justice, providing economic guidance to the people. So, seeking truth is not only religiously accepted, but also it is socially and culturally accepted. Okay, then harmonious worldview. We have to have a very harmonious, we have to have a very, no, very fraternity kind of thing we should have so that we feel that this world is not only something related to me or you, but for everybody as a whole. Yes? Yes. Embracing the synergy between faith and reason. Like we already mentioned that for your every emotion, you have one sugar. You have your, whatever the problem you have, you have a solution, you have the medicinal solution to your illness. Like I remember I have one book, it talks about prophetic medicines, right? Prophetic medicine in the sense that for some illness there are certain medicine which was used not only in the earlier days but was used by our Prophet Muhammad. So these things are not only present in the contemporary world, but also they have their mention in Quran. Next, we can skip this. Yes, contemporary perspective. Now, recently I have come across one news where mother was able to see her deceased daughter through some device. I didn't go much into that, but she was wearing some glass kind of thing, and that said that if you go around the grave of that person, you will be able to see what they are exactly doing. But do you think it is possible? I don't know. I don't feel that you can ever see that any scientific technology could ever try to see what's happening inside the grave. Why? Because nobody but only the body and our God knows what's happening inside the grave. So there is certain conflict between the religion, between the faith and the science. Next. Now, what is the role of culture in shaping religious and scientific view? What role does the culture have? So we have cultural relativism, we have societal norms, we have diversity of the perspective. Now, this the way individuals and societies understand and interpret religion and sciences based on their cultural context. So now, in many of the countries, if you say that Islam is getting into danger, it means that people are associating one religion with certain activities only. So in this way, what happens that the kind of culture you are living in or the kind of society you are living in, it helps a lot to discover what actually your religion is. My point here is to explain you that if there is any kind of diversity or if there is any kind of differences, if it is not acceptable by the majority, then that difference is viewed as a threat to the nation. So I won't go much into this detail because that would again become a very, some kind of controversial topic. Then we have societal norms. Like we believe in diversity. We believe in diversity of human beings, we believe in diversity of religion. We have to set such a societal norms so that every people who belong to different religion, they feel at ease. They feel secure while they are conducting their religious activities. Then we have diversity of the perspective. No matter what, even if we belong to the same religion, we belong to the same family. Just like all my fingers are not same of the same length, in the same way it is not possible that you have to have the same perspective in your country. So it is manageable to have our diversity in the perspective relating to the society, relating to the economy, or relating to maybe anything which is of societal interest. Now, ethical consideration at the intersection of religion, science, and culture. Now, there are certain ethical considerations. We have bioethics. Now, bioethics, like we have genetic engineering, right? We have genetic engineering, so there has to be certain bioethics in that. We have certain consideration for end of life care, which involves certain kinds of debates, which have even attracted many discussions from prominent speakers. Then we have environmental stewardship. Now here the religious teaching and scientific principle can inform how societies approach environmental protection and sustainable development. These developments do not only affect the present generation, but they also decide whether the future generation is going to have access to those resources or not. Then we have social justice. Now the justice, what it means that justice is blind. So whenever you are up to social justice, it should it should be always based on the principle of truth and only truth. It should not see that which country you belong to, which religion you belong to, which caste you belong to. Social justice, there has to be, unification of oneness, unification of truth and the facts. Last, we have technological advancement. Now, emerging technologies push the boundaries of what is ethically and morally accepted. But despite this, we need to make sure that technologies, they are not only, they are humanly accepted, but it should be ethical in nature. For example, we have AI. Now, for example, we have AI. Now, if we talk about AI, if I'm providing one assignment to my student, so the student, what they do, they just copy the same heading on AI, and whatever the things are coming, they are just copy pasting it. Right, students? Are you all doing this? Yes? Okay. So, these technological advancements should be ethical in nature. It should be ethically accepted. It is not like you should blindly go what the technology is saying, but definitely it should be ethically accepted. There are many more examples of unethical technological advancement. We may discuss this we may discuss it later on sometime. Yes. Next. Yes. Now we have emerging trends in the integration of religion, science and culture. Now these are some of the trends which we have: interfaith dialogues, we have STEM education. Now STEM education is science, technology, engineering and mathematics. Okay? Then we have eco-spirituality and we have digital humanities. Okay? How much more time do we have? 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. Oh, okay. We can skip this. So this is how we can embrace the synergy of religion, science and culture. We should respect the diversity. We should foster dialogues. Okay, we should seek integration and we can cultivate empathy towards other people. Yes, next. Now religion as a tool for peace. Yes, keep running. Now unifying power of shared belief. What if we have the common shared belief, shared values, community building and spiritual guidance? This will not only help you to understand your religion better, but also to implement the good things of your religion. Okay? Interfaith dialogue and mutual understanding. Now, breaking down the barriers. The barriers often arise when there is intolerance among people. When people don't take others' differences into consideration, they want that everything should be alike, the same thing to which they belong to. But it never happens. So we should break down the barriers. We should help others to promote tolerance and building bridges. Now, what does the bridge do? Bridge connects two poles, right? So those things should be connected to bridge. Now, building bridges is not something, it is just a metaphorical thing. It is not something in real. Building bridges means you have to bridge the gap. You have to bridge the differences. Yeah, next. Now, religion-inspired humanitarian efforts, it should have a compassion and service. We should have relief efforts. We should have social justice, and thereby giving some global impact. Yeah, next. Yeah, conflict resolution through religious principle. We have non-violence, we have forgiveness, and we have meditations and dialogues. The importance of religion tolerance and acceptance. It promotes diversity, it promotes open-mindedness, it promotes empathy and understanding towards the fellow being, and it emphasizes on the coexistence of the communities. Yeah. So overcoming religious extremism and radicalization, we that can be done through education. We can educate our generation. We have interfaith cooperations. We have community engagement, and we have to promote cooperation. Yes. Yes, we can skip this. So this was all from my side. I hope I have stick to the timeline.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'm open for any question, and I can be reached out to the LinkedIn profile through this. Okay? So thank you for being a patient listener. Thank you everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Yes.
Sidi. And I invite one of the speaker to go to the stage. Maybe that everybody want to ask, yeah, because this session is a question and answer. Would you like to come? Yeah. The board speaker, please. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Afazaz and Ms. Sidi for the great presentation. And maybe that everyone, the audience, want to ask something about that. That really want to know about something that Mr. Afazaz and Ms. Sidi have presented.
Well, thank you, Doctor, giving me the chance. I would like to ask a question to Dr. Anand. And I would like to introduce my background. I actually from Manila Research Institute, but in 2022, I have done an exchange to US. My big theme of the student exchange is actually the religious diversity. So I am at USA for around 5 weeks, and in that five weeks, we are learning and studying about how religious diversity forms our social society and how our cultural impact that affect from the diversity itself. What I want to ask you is about earlier you had mentioned that there are some factors that shape religious in our society, which is cultural, society, and things like that. And what I want to ask is the ancestor, the ancestor, how to say, the ancestor, our people before us, take a role in shaping religious, and our society or cultural has a contra or even has influence in the form of the society. Because what I understand is our society isn't couldn't be differentiate from our religious and our and the past of the society. Because I learned a lot about other religions and it's all about historical, and I also learned Islamic deeply, which I take a double degree in terms of Quran and Hadith. Yeah, thank you, Doctor.
Okay, what I could understand is your question is that how have our ancestors helped in framing the culture or helped in framing the religious path which we are following right now, despite living in a different society from theirs, right? So my belief is that when you talk about traditions, okay, no, traditions keeps on changing, right? But whatever the values are, whatever the facts are, if you talk about hadith, okay, then hadith is going to be the same as it is for me, as it was for my ancestors, and as it is going to my coming generation. So when you talk about traditions, it keeps on changing. For example, the tradition for this university right now is maybe we all are sitting together, we are sharing, we are sharing our views, and then after we are done with the presentation, we are, given our certificates, we are given our mementos. This is a tradition. When you talk about hadith, it is all about what actually was going in the year to, in back 1400, 1300 years ago. So that is still going to be the sin. So when we talk about ancestral things, so ancestors, if they have followed traditions, so tradition has a tendency to change. Okay, that is why it is a transitionally activity. It keeps on changing, it keeps on adapting itself according to the scenario present. But when you talk about hadith or when you talk about facts, it remains seated, it remains deeply rooted throughout the mankind. So ancestors have a huge role whether the coming generation is going to follow the hadith or whether it is going to follow the tradition. So I have no idea about the ancestors you are talking about, but I definitely believe that you as a human being would set example of following hadith for your coming generation. Have I answered your question, guys?
So actually, you answered the question well, but what I can conclude is our religion, this is not could be divided with our past ancestors. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much.
Okay, is there any question you want to ask? Okay.
Mic.
Thank you. I have to Indonesia English. Indonesia mawon. Ini campur. To Mr. Avendras. There are apa three 300 bahasa tadi ya. Indonesia 300,000 Indonesian language. That from Yunani ya. And this is globalization in language. Bagaimana itu perkembangan itu bisa mengarah ke future, to masa depan itu menjadi berimplikasi positif gitu. Jadi dari perkembangan misalnya yang 300 bahasa atau mungkin bahasa menjadi implikasi perkembangan yang positif terhadap globalisasi ke depan gitu. Contohnya tadi yang 300 bahasa itu. Yes. Now, number two, for Siddiq, for Miss Siddiq, there are between Quran and scientist, hubungan antara Quran dan saintis itu no there aren't, tidak ada kontradiksi ya, buat antara Quran dan saintifik itu tidak bertentangan gitu ya, tidak bertentangan. Quran and science not versus ya, not versus, tidak bertentangan. Yes. Menurut sebentar, bagaimana itu menjelaskan terhadap bahwa Quran dan saintis itu tidak bertentangan terhadap generasi berikutnya. Karena saat ini menurut saya kitab-kitab suci, salah satunya Al-Quran itu bahkan mungkin di dunia barat itu dijadikan pertentangan karena dianggap dongeng tadi itu. Ya, kalau menurut Pak Aris kan dianggap dongeng. Ini bagaimana kalau di sana di India misalnya itu kitab suci dan saintifik itu menjelaskan kepada generasi berikutnya untuk itu sebenarnya tidak bertentangan begitu. Mungkin gitu. Terima kasih. Thank you.
Actually, for Mr. Avendras, the speaker actually asked about how the globalization, especially in languages, can give us a positive implication.
Yeah.
the fact that several languages draw on the same basic vocabulary or basic stock of concepts, like in the different sciences. Whatever in some of the sciences that my colleague here mentioned. What it does is it creates a stock of concepts which have the same expression across language borders. So they facilitate understanding. Okay, for instance, let me find some. Now, if I say gerontology,
Gerontologi.
I don't know.
Yes,
Is it
gerontologi.
also in Bahasa?
Gerontologi.
Gerontology, yeah. Now, in Greek, Geros is an old person. The family is Geria. Geria. Okay. So if you have gerontology, gerontology, gérontologie en français,
Oh, yeah.
okay, gerontologia in Greek, then you have the same concept expressed by the same word. And it facilitates communication between languages and communities. I don't know if I answered your question.
Mungkin gini, jadi bisa juga ke depan itu dari sekian banyak bahasa itu menunjukkan bahwa, mohon maaf, bisa dikatakan ada satu Tuhan gitu nantinya. Karena kan nanti bahasa yang satu ini bisa menyebar ke berbagai negara terus jadi banyak pengucapan. Bisa nggak kalau seperti itu? Jadi principle of language is one. Prinsip dari bahasa itu kan satu. Sebenarnya ada satu prinsip dari mungkin mengucapkannya itu berbeda, gitu ya. Mungkin bahasanya sama kayak gerontologi, itu kan satu sebenarnya prinsipnya. Ya, jadi itu saya bisa mengatakan kalau dalam religiusnya itu bisa dikatakan karena Tuhan itu satu, esa, sehingga terus bermanifestasi menjadi banyak pengucapan tadi. Gitu. Itu bahwa sekian bahasa itu menunjukkan bahwa sumbernya adalah satu, gitulah. The sources of language is one. Yes, that's right.
And I will use a Greek word that has been borrowed into many languages, monotheism.
Mono, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Mono is unique, one.
Yes.
Theism is from theos, God. So one God. Okay.
Yes.
So already that expresses in an understandable way across languages one particular important concept.
Yes. Okay, see. Thank you.
There is many kinds of the concept in the works maybe. Can I move to the
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, actually, Mr.
Dr. Iwan Pujiono.
Mr. Pujayan actually want to ask how that we can explain about scientific is in line with the Quran and Hadith. The first question, and for the second question is actually Mr. Pujayan curious about the Gen Z. Yes, Gen Z actually that Gen Z actually have like a hedonic lives there. How can make sure that Quran and Hadith can answer about how to be good? Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
actually like that.
Sir, I would like to answer your second question first. Okay, will that work? Okay.
Suaranya benar.
So,
Ini paling ngomong suaranya benar.
being a mother of 1.5 years old daughter, your second question is something which I have been pondering since the time she was born. She was born in the year 2023. I have one daughter. She is 1.5 years old. And the second question which we have asked is that how can these be used as a platform for upbringing a child? So, sir, I believe that how your child is going to be. Firstly, your child is a manava padya. Okay? So, everything is already written in their destiny, but then the parents should make sure that the culture at the home is in aligned with that of the Islamic culture. Then only they will reach. For example, yesterday, the moment I landed in Indonesia, I, along with Professor Ratna, we were sitting and we were talking that in Indonesia I am seeing that even a little girl is having her head cap. You know, this covering of hair, this covering, wearing hijab is somewhat it is recommended in Islam. So this thing which I said, it is somewhat related to the culture which her family follows, right? If how the mother is going to be is going to decide the modesty of the daughter, right? I hope all the mothers who are sitting here, they must be believing that how modest the mother is going to decide how modest the daughter is going to be. So, how your child's future holds, or what your child's future holds, that is all in Allah's hand. But how, as a parent, you can handle the Gen Z, like they are so much addicted to mobile phones, they are so much cut off from the real world, and they are so much into the real world, real world and real world. So there we have to strike a balance. And even although I am a speaker for this conference, but I am still in the process of answering this question for myself, that what can be done for the Gen Z, because this is a generation where my children belong to, where my daughter belongs to, and the same generation I am teaching. As a professor, I am teaching the same generation. So, there has to be balance between the culture of the home, first step, and secondly, the people you hang around with. Okay? Because major part of your day you are spending at college, right? So at college, what kind of people you are meeting, what all ideology do they follow, what all ideology do they have about culture, do they have about the religion, all these things, they have a great impact on how your child is going to become. Okay, so this second question, I am also in the process of answering the same. So this is what all I have answered up till now. So the same I have shared to you. And your first question was, could you please stand up?
Actually, that Mr. Pujiano want to know about how can we explain that the science is in line with Quran and Hadith.
How science is in line with Quran and Hadith.
Yes.
See, this one thing I would like to explain you with one small example, that uh, I don't know what we call it in Indonesian language, but in Urdu we call it as hajama, like cupping. Cupping of the body, cupping of the body. Like there are certain points on your body in which if you put some pressure, if you put some acupressure in that, then it cleans your body. It cleans your body in the form that the blood circulation is, it gets detoxified. So, hajama we call it in Urdu, and in English we call it as cupping. So, this thing was.
Bekam ya.
Okay, I hope you follow this. Pakam, right? Okay, this, pakam. So this thing the science has discovered recently, like around 30 to 40 years back. But this thing is mentioned in our Quran, this thing is a sunnah to follow. So I think this statement is somewhat, it is giving a picture that yes, the science is following what has been mentioned in the Quran. All these medicinal ideas, all these medicines, even doctors, for if you ever visit to a doctor for your cholesterol, for your sugar, they will recommend you to take black seeds, niharu. Niharu is like early in the morning, without having anything. Once you brush your teeth, the first food which you should have is black seeds, right? So I think these two examples which I recently came across, I think that science is following the religion. So I hope I have answered your question well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bisa dikatakan turun temurun berarti nggih.
Okay, thank you very much for our great speakers in here, and let me summarize just briefly. For Mr. Alfendras, actually that he has teach us about living, about in the diverse culture, and it makes us, it teaches us about love, respect, and empathy, and to make us wiser. That's right. And Dr. Aiman, that she actually want to give explanation that the scientific actually is in line with Quranic and Hadith. That's right. Okay, this time is up. Thank you very much. We hope all of the audience, will gain available knowledge and an important connection during this day. And actually, goodbye and thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Risantri Adi Wijaya. Well, everybody, please give a big applause for our speaker. Well, before going to close our session, the committee would like to give the present in form of certificate for the speakers and the moderators. Well, the first certificate will be given to Professor Dr. Evangelos Angelo Evangelos. And in this occasion, we will please Associate Professor Dr. Insinyur Abdullah MM to give Professor Angelos the certificate.
I'm a certified Fendi. Thank you. The art is in the wrong place.
Thank you very much.
Offender.
Bahaya boleh 100. 100 kalau gitu. Kok kayak dulu. Iki
90 Pak. 80 ujul ya.
For the second certificate will be given to Dr. Aiman Siti. And in this occasion, we are pleased, Associate Professor Dr. Aji Dedi Mulawarman to give the certificate.
Sah. Terus manis. Wani dah. Aduh.
To remind me such a nice time which I've spent here.
Kan delok campur. Karena wis gaya ini wis biasa. Kalau saya
And the certificate will be given to Dr. Risantri Edi Wijaya as the moderator. And also, Dr. Risantri Edi Wijaya will be given certificate as the co-host of the event. And in this occasion, we are pleased, Associate Professor Dr. Ali Damayanti to give the certificate.
Anu, ketandas. To toilet. Bersih.
We are pleased for all the speakers to come to the front and take their break.
Ayo foto dulu. Awak di sana foto tok ya. Yuk foto dulu. Bagian foto di mana? Ayo kakak-kakak foto dulu kakak-kakak. Ayo.
Besok pagi sama saya ikut dan nanti malam semuanya bisa tidur di rumah saya sambil mulutan jadi tidurnya di rumah saya saja. Feeling happy as the kurang ke kiri, Mas Putri, Mas Puji, agak ke kiri. Yuk.
Say that in Indonesian as well. What?
Satu sih.
Yeah, satu, dua, tiga.
Dua, tiga.
Everyone say, Niska, excellent in quality.
Oke.
Niska,
Apa yang belum?
excellent
Yang
in
bisa.
belum.
Niska.
Excellent in quality.
Mas Gin.
Oh iya, iya.
Selalu ngirimnya ya.
Kode mau kirim,
Ini nama saya.
Sing dikirim beda, Pak ya. Lagi kirimannya beda ya.
Ini nomor aku, nomor kamu. Nomor
Pak, buat kambing. Buat makan kambing ya. Kambing. Kambing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we are going to close our session, first, we are going to announce the best paper presenter from the call for paper that was presented on 14 September 2024.
Anu toh kan. Tape. Saya ada piket di kantor, ada jadwal.
Congratulations, and please give our biggest applause for the best presenter.
ini sertifikatnya. Sertifikatnya Pak Puji lah.
Ladies
Dia
and
bigot nih lah
gentlemen,
jawabannya.
finally, we are going to end of this session. And please, before we are going to end of the session, let us pray Alhamdulillah together.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
Thank you very much for your attention. See you on the
Yeah.
7 Incorrect next year. I am Maulana Akia from Meneles Research
Sampai
Institute
iskat.
as your Master of Ceremony
Happy.
today, signing out. Billahi bisani ilham, ishkaliman al-mujahidat, Allahumma mikul hadi ila sabil rasyad. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Merdeka. Alhamdulillah. Curang itu jangan percaya.
Tak.